Good morning everybody and welcome back to another War Thunder video. I was going to do a little thing for you guys for the 200 subscriber celebration kind of thing, a couple of pictures of myself, but due to the resolution of these pictures not being supported by my editing software, I can't get it to work at the moment. It is something I will do eventually, but right at this very point in time I can't really be bothered to sit and fiddle around with it. So I will try and sort that as quickly as possible. Otherwise, sit back, enjoy the video. So good morning everybody and welcome back to another War Thunder video, and today I wanted to talk about something that may just be complete crap, if I'm being entirely honest, although it is something, however, that I feel I should mention, just to bring it to the attention of more people in the community, if it hasn't been widespread as it is. There are several tanks, one of which I'm driving now, and I'm sure by the thumbnail you'll know full well that this is one of them. The Tiger with the 105mm gun, the Tiger 2 with the 105mm gun, is technically speaking a paper tank. It never actually existed, or if it did, very few of them were ever made, and as far as I'm aware it never actually served in a combat role. It never got to that stage. Same goes for the Panther 2, although the Panther 2 I'm almost certain in saying it definitely did not leave the drawing board. The war ended before the Germans had the opportunity to start fiddling around with infrared scopes and all that crap, at least in an effective manner. Basically, what this information involves is Gaijin planning on removing paper tanks from the game. Why they would do this, I have absolutely no idea whatsoever, but the two tanks that have specifically been thrown around are the Panther 2 and the Tiger with the 105. As I did a video on the Panther 2 3 days ago, I didn't see it was necessary to put more footage of it into this video, so today we've got footage of the Tiger 1 in the background, Tiger 105 in the background. So, a little bit of information about this tank. Basically, it's a 105mm L44 gun, which has, even on my decent crew settings and crew levels, almost a 20-second reload. I think it's 18.6 seconds, which is very, very long. The last time I showed footage of this thing on the channel was 7 months ago, where I had made a post on the War Thunder subreddit, basically saying I wanted this thing to go down to 6.7 BR because the Americans had the T-29, which also has a 105mm gun, but that's at 6.7, and it's a premium. I got completely shot down. Now, I'm not sorry about that, by which I mean I'm not sorry I got shot down. I was in the wrong. I'd made a mistake. I hadn't realised that this gun's insane penetration and velocity for its shells pretty much puts it at 7.0. Even though the T-29 has the same caliber gun, the gun on the Tiger 2 is better, especially at long range, at not only penetration but post-pen effects, and the only thing that it struggles with is reload rate, but that's a balancing factor. Effectively, the Gaijin want to remove these two tanks. Specifically, those, like I said earlier, those are the two that have been mentioned. There may be more, but I can't see there being much ground to this information, given the fact that they've only recently added the Waffenträger, which in and of itself never existed. That definitely never left the drawing board. So yeah, opinions in the comment section on the video or on Reddit or wherever else this video may end up. I want to hear your opinions on this. Now, when I first heard this rumour, I heard that Gaijin were planning on removing the Tiger 2 105 and the Panther 2. I did not hear that they were planning on removing paper tanks. So my first reaction upon hearing it originally was, I want them to replace the Panther 2 and the Tiger 2 105 with the E50 or the E50M and the E75 respectively, which I now know is definitely not a possibility if they're considering removing paper tanks at all, because none of those ever left the drawing board either. But it would be nice, I think, to see the E-series represented in the game, at least even if it's only one of those two tanks. I have made arguments in the past that the Tiger II 105 is almost identical, bar a few minor details which I'll get into in a minute, to the idea that was the E-75. The E-75 was supposed to be the standardised heavy tank for the German army, the E-50 the standardised medium, and the E-25 the standardised tank destroyer. Of course, as I said, none of these ever left the drawing board and never got off the ground to begin with. The only difference that the Tiger II 105 has between the E-75, is two or threefold. The E-75 had no bow-mounted machine gun. The Tiger 105, as we can see here, does. The E-75 was supposed to use the Jagdtiger's 128mm main gun. The 105, as the name suggests, uses a 105mm gun. And lastly, there is the case of the crew layout, which is only slightly different. The armour I cannot comment on. I think it would be pretty much impossible to find real statistics of what the E-75's armour was actually going to be, because it was never built, or at least I don't think it was ever built. You'd have to actually have at least evidence of one of the hulls and turret to be able to tell you how much armour it used. Anyway, with this out of the way, I'm going to continue grinding for my Leopard 2K. I'm only 100,000 XP off, and I'm slowly getting there, so look forward to a video on that as soon as possible. The Challenger and the T64B reviews will be up, but I'm struggling to get games, so anyway, thanks very much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more. Cheers.